Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome to the round 22 preview. This brings us to the final 3 games of the season, 3 big games, and it starts on Sunday. Back at the same venue at the same time as the scene of the crime last week against the Blues. We're taking on Richmond, who are coming off a disappointing loss themselves. They started the game poorly against the Dogs. We finished the game poorly, to put it nicely, against the Blues. We need to win 2 games to really secure ourselves as a finals chance. And this game this week is essentially a non-negotiable. We have to win this game. I know I've said that before in other games. Probably last week I said it, but this one, it has to happen because otherwise, you've got Geelong and Brisbane at the Gabba, and you need to win both, and that's probably a bit of a stretch on current form. But if we can get the job done against the Tigers, who should be up and about with some recent news that we'll talk about, and some returning players, if we can get the win there, we need 1 more in the final 2 games, with Geelong at Marvel to follow, and then Brisbane at the Gabba in round 24. So, in this game, where do we start? Honestly, we just want to go back to what we did in the first half last week. Play with ultra aggression, capitalise when we get it inside 50, and just maintain the rage for as long as we can. Last week, we did well for 2 quarters, and then for the second half, we vanished. And it was all because of the midfield. Ross Lyon put that on them. It was all because of the midfield. And obviously, last time we played Richmond, players like Cochin, Dusty, and Taranto in particular were influential in the win in the wet. But it's a different story when it's at Marvel under the roof, where Richmond don't travel too well. Their fans don't travel there at all. And their season's, it's probably done. They're on 38 points. We're on 44. I think it's probably a game or two too far for them to get into finals contention. But if they win this week, they're 2 points behind us. So they'd be thinking, okay, this is a big opportunity. And on recent news with Trent Cotchin announcing his retirement, they're going to be up and about for the final 3 games just for him. So last time we played them was his 300th. Now it's his retirement, farewell games, which is brilliant. He loves, I talked to Richo yesterday and I mentioned that, great, that's going to be happening. You've got players coming back. So supposedly Dusty's back. Trent Cotchin will return, obviously, and Dylan Grimes, one of their best defenders. So they're going to be getting some players back. For us, the main one that I'm interested in seeing get back into the lineup is obviously Tim Membry. He played at Sandy. He had 20 disposals, kicked 4 goals on the weekend in a 99-point win against the Bull Ants. So, very light on for opposition there, but he still played well. He's been pretty much going through his own mini preseason behind the scenes the last 6 to 7 weeks. So he's cherry ripe, supposedly, ready to go. In terms of other players that could come in, Jack Hayes is one as well. Seb Ross is a test. So Seb Ross could well return. Tom Highmore is a test, but I just don't think that backline changes too much. Last week, again, the issue wasn't the backline. It was everywhere else. It was the midfield and then the forwards in the second half, not leading, not presenting, not making it easy for the rest of the team to really transition from back to front, which is obviously a huge thing with us because that's how we score the majority of our goals. Look at the first half against Carlton. They turned it over in the back half. We intercepted from Wilkie and then slingshot the other way. And that's what got us out the back so often against them early was we moved the ball quick, we moved it efficiently, we hit our targets, and then we marked the ball. That went away in the second half. It turned into a bit of a ground ball game, and that's where they excelled. They've got the bigger bodies, and they took over at that point. So we cannot allow Richmond to do the same thing with Taranto in the midfield. Obviously, a key matchup in our forward line is Max King on Noah Bolter. Noah Bolter is just marking everything at the moment, and I think he's number 1 for intercept marks in the competition. So that's probably the big matchup we want to utilize, or we want to neutralize, is the word probably. And to do that, Kingy needs to get on the move. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to just be switched on from the start. Last week it was a good ease in, 2 goals, 1 I think it was. Could have kicked 3. Obviously looked a bit underdone, I think, fitness-wise, but hopefully with game 2 under his belt, he'll be better for it. And I think he loves playing on some of the really good defenders. You know, he always has good battles with Harris Andrews, Jacob Wiedering. So I think against someone like Noah Bolter, it could be the making of King for the next couple of weeks. Fingers crossed. In terms of their forward line, obviously, Jack Riewold's really the one lone target without Tom Lynch, and that really does hurt them. Richo was mentioning yesterday that, you know, without Tom Lynch since round 5 or 6, they've struggled to kick goals, and it's been a similar case with us, I suppose. You know, without Kingy, without Membry, without Hayes, we've found scoring to be quite difficult, and in a game like this, just win. Like, it doesn't matter now. We just need 2 wins. So throw percentage out the window. It doesn't matter. We're not going to be going out there beating Richmond by 15 goals, although it would be very nice. We just need to get the 4 points, and then we need to go into Geelong with a clean bill of health in some sort of decent form, and then go pretty much helter-skelter in that game to secure that extra win that we need to get to that magic number of 13 wins. I'm a bit weary just because of how badly we finished the game last week, and it's a bit of a polar opposite because we finished the game strong against North, we finished it very well against Hawthorn, and we started the Hawthorn game well. We started the Carlton game pretty exceptionally, but it fell away big time in the second half. So I'm more curious than anything this week to see how that midfield group goes, because we tried so many options in there and we just kept getting the same result, which was F all, you know? So I'm wondering if there's a Bytel that gets thrown in there. Do we play... I'd like to see Machida Owens play in there for the 4 quarters, because if we're getting Skunk back, maybe even Jack Hayes, the forward line's fine with Filippo, with Caminiti, although I think he might be rested, and then obviously King. So I don't think we're going to struggle for height in the forward line. I do also want to see Tom Campbell, you know, to allow Rowan Marshall to do what he does best in the forward line and actually clunk the thing and kick straight. It hurts when, you know, we start the game so well last week and Rowe takes a good clunk, kicks a goal, and then that's the last time he's sighted in the forward line when he looks so good there. And I think Tom Campbell warrants it. You know, they've got Nankervis, and that's about it. I think it'd be good to go in with the 2 rucks. We saw what Carlton did last week, and they outmanned us in the ruck department, smashed us in the clearances as a result. Rowe had a good game individually, but I mean, they win the game, they get the clearances, they get first use. You'd rather that, essentially, you know. So it's a massive game, obviously, saying it's our home game. Highly recommend, if you can, get to the ground. It's the second last game in Melbourne for the season, barring any sort of finals scheduling if we do make it. But we know that we're favourites, which I know doesn't bode well for a lot of people, and the fact that it's Maddie's match and we don't do well in milestone or just special matches. But yeah, get down if you can. Sunday 3:20, so it's not a bad time slot. You know, you finish up and then you go to dinner, and if we win, you're feeling very good about it and you want to go to dinner, have a good time, have a drink. So get down if you can. I think we might be doing the Victory Room social before the game. I don't know if that's locked in yet, but I'll let you know when I know. And then obviously after the game, I'll be back for the live review, hopefully to talk about a win. But yeah, it's a massive game. It's crunch time. I said it last week. It doesn't change. We dropped 1. There was 4 games to go. We need 2. We still need 2 with 3 games to go. So we need to get the job done on Sunday. I don't care how it happens. It just needs to get done. And then we move on to Geelong and really just go for it, basically as an elimination final in that game, which is huge. So hopefully I'll see you there on Sunday, Saners. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. Quick plug for the Richo video as well. It was awesome to chat to AFL legend Matthew Richardson. Took time out of his very busy schedule to chat to me for 20 minutes. That's on the YouTube channel as well. So if you want to watch that, get a bit more of a Richmond perspective, but also hear Richo's thoughts on the Saints, which he had many. As just an AFL expert, head on over there, give it a like, and obviously subscribe and watch the video and enjoy it. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week, Saners. I'll see you after the game on Sunday. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.